I suppose growing up in a Aboriginal family, yes, we experienced our struggles in the community, probably because I was the youngest one. I was probably camouflaged a lot. My parents moved from Stradbroke Island in 1948 to give my older siblings a better chance at education. And so the family relocated to the Wynnum area, and my parents lived in that same house for 55 years. So in a way, I was very lucky to have a stable background, unlike a lot of other Aboriginal families. We were very grounded and had a continuing lifestyle, to put it lightly, growing up with strong principles in our family as far as respect, treating people and things like that. Yes, we did face discrimination in our schooling years, and I suppose in those early years, your early formative years, it's taught me, yes, you learn resilience and things like that. But as you get older, I like to think that I've worked very hard for reconciliation to make Australia a better place for everybody. And so, you know, I do a lot of community work, both with Indigenous First Nations people, but also with non-Indigenous people. And I was widowed at a young age, so I reared 3 children on my own. They were only young at the time, 13, 12 and 11. So, but I think too, as you get older, you know, you with the resilience that you have to face at an early age, it does make you stronger as you get older, because there are other, you know, you've worked hard all your life to come to this age, and then, you know, there's other things knocking at the door, like dementia or Alzheimer's or other disabilities, you know, for where it falls risk, all that sort of thing. And really, for someone my age who has been quite active, like a lot of other senior people, it is quite frightening. I was only sharing a story today with a friend of mine that my kid said to me, "Oh, Mum, do you want to register for my Gov?" And I certainly was a little bit insulted because I really wasn't ready for that. And then a friend of mine was having his dinner, and he must have had chest pains, and he got up and stood at his unit door and passed away. And for the very first time in my life, I realised that I actually live alone. And it was like a light bulb moment. I'd never thought of that before. I don't know whether it's because I was surrounded by so many people, or I surround myself around a lot of people. But it is, yes, your confidence does deteriorate, I suppose. It is on your mind. You know, you have to be careful of this, not to fall over, or especially if you experience other ailments, you know, like back injuries and things like that, which I suffer from a sporting injury when I was younger. So it does become a risk. But the one thing is, to me, about being beautiful and getting old is to embrace it. And I always like to think that, you know, from my experiences in life, if I've met somebody that's made a mark on their life, I'm happy with that. You know, I've always been a person to wake up with a purpose, and some people aren't that lucky. So I class myself as very lucky. And I have my family around, my children and grandchildren around to support me. So in lots of instances, I feel very lucky, to the point now that my siblings have all passed. All my first cousin, in all 30 of them, I'm the only one left. So, and that's really only happened in the last 18 months. So I'm actually going through a time of, it's not about the last person standing. It's actually about being the lonely person standing. You know, you've lost confidences that you've had all your life. So, and I'm lucky that I've got family that I can go to on country at Stradbroke Island, and I get a lot of strength from my family. That's the next second generation down from me. So I'm very lucky that way because we've got a choir going, and just to be in their presence can give you a lot of strength to carry on. Thank you for listening, and good luck with everything else. Thank you.